So we're gonna go for a little ride in the SEA 120A SEAdrive outfitted Hino 195 16-foot box truck. So you can get a sense of the sounds and the volume, and I'll just talk a little bit about what it's like driving it around. I'll have the windows up and the AC on, yeah, I'll go for a little ride. So foot on the brake, turn the key to the on position, listen. Maybe you can hear that, maybe you can't. Sounded like some pumps came on. You hear a little bit of weird mechanical noises underneath the dash. The SEAdrive little screen on the dash has come on. It's got the company logo. Regular dash is lit up, shows the odometer, the speedometer. The rest of it's really of no use because it's not hooked up. You know, there's no DEF, there's no fuel, etc. So the SEAdrive screen is finished booting up. Switch over to the regular SEAdrive screen that shows my fuel consumption and battery, etc. Putting the brake down, turn the AC on, put it into drive, and doesn't sound like much. Hit the gas, or not the gas, the accelerator. I'm accelerating, going about 25 miles an hour on a side street. Stop using the brake with the regen and the foot brake. Pulling up. Now I'm going to accelerate up a hill. Relatively hard acceleration. About 30, 40, 50 kilowatts of power. 60 kilowatts of power. You can hear like a light whistling from the drivetrain. 70 kilowatts of power hammering up a hill, but empty. The window down so you can hear the drivetrain a little more. You can also hear the bounce of the box a lot more when you hit bumps, roll-up door bouncing, that sort of thing. It's getting a little flatter, more at about 30 kilowatt hours consumption right now. So on the flats, just about even now. It's, you know, consuming 5-10 kilowatt hours of power. Now, let off accelerate, let off regeneration puts me at about 20 kilowatts of generation. If I apply the brake, it gives a little bit more, getting me up into 22, but I'm only going 20 miles an hour. Halfway what you hear is the tires. It's very quiet in this truck. You can hear wires rustling under the dash, the air moving. It's a very quiet truck. Going as well, it accelerates well. It's really, sometimes it feels like it's got a little more pickup than a small diesel. Definitely less than, say, an Isuzu with the GM V8 in it. That's got a lot more power, to the point that those are a little overpowered. This is about right. Relative to an Isuzu, the Hino interior is a little bit nicer. They definitely cost a little bit more for a similarly spec truck. Get a little more nooks and crannies in the dash for hiding all your trash. So no crazy advantage. One of the things that I do like about the Hino better than the Isuzu is the visibility is a little bit better. The pillars are a little narrower. I like the mirrors a tiny bit better. I also like the older Isuzus better than the newer Isuzus. But that's not really what this review is about. Some of the visibility in this truck reminds me more of the older Isuzus. If that means anything to you. I think for the size of this truck, the wheelbase, and the weight, it's got a relatively smooth ride relative to other small cab overs. It does have the typical low cab over, small truck steering looseness that you would be accustomed to in an Isuzu or probably a regular Hino, relative to, say, a traditional cab, like a Kenworth or International or Peterbilt or whatever. So a lot of that's, sort of normally predictable. The gauge cluster is pretty unremarkable. So we're parked now. Engine's running, or electrical systems are running. Another example to listen to the difference. As I'm gonna shut the AC off, you can hear some pumps running, a little bit of weird sort of clicking noises, and I'm gonna shut the key off so you can hear what it sounds like, sort of for contrast, without the system's running. So on, off.